Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Ushanka Show Live. 100,000 subscribers. I see we got already quite a few people waiting. Please let me know the sound is okay. I'll make sure we have a good sound. It's kind of cool to already see so many people here. It's nice, and I think once we get 100 likes, we'll probably start celebrating. But once again, the main reason we are here together is 100,000 subscribers on Ushanka Show. It took 9 years and a little bit over 900 videos. So here we are. If you can please confirm that sound is okay, so we can keep on going. So yeah, that's how the silver button looks like. Anybody who is hoping to get one, there is. Sound is great. Okay, fantastic. So I'm happy to hear that. And the back is just for hanging. And some people suggested to have John Wayne Cheeseburger instead of Ushanka Show, but I thought about it, but decided that it's the name of the channel. Back when I started this project, I was kind of thinking about doing just kind of, more like humorous style videos, but then I realized people were asking really serious questions. So anyway, here we are. Together we reached that, so that's pretty cool. And I said, once we get 100 likes, we'll start consuming some alcohol to celebrate. If you're not familiar, I just got it out of the refrigerator. That's the bottle of old Kiev vodka, Древня Киевская горілка. In Ukrainian, vodka is gorilka. In Russian, is vodka. 40 proof, or 40%, 0.75. So this bottle my father purchased back in 1982. There's a still little date you could see I wrote with my when I was a kid. I asked my father to not to open the bottle, keep it for my wedding, but the way things went, wedding happened in Michigan. My parents and the bottle of vodka remained in Ukraine and Kiev, so I never had a chance to drink it. Some people suggest to get drunk, so there's a deal. We're gonna play drinking game. So anytime I talk to my wife about, because she doesn't want me to get wasted tonight. So anytime we reach $50 donations, I will have another shot of vodka, a couple just to celebrate, and then we will do that. So if you feel generous to support my channel, there's a super thanks on the bottom. So as I said, once we get 100 people watching, we'll start going. And I prepared, my wife prepared me some snacks. I have some marinated mushrooms, and we have some salmon sandwiches. So that's the plan for today. Looks like we got some people from London, UK. I appreciate you staying awake at this time of an hour. It's probably about, what, 10 p.m. in London. I assume I'm just gonna check some likes. Let's see what people said. So yeah, we actually could even celebrate 101,000 subscribers, but today is just 100K. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And anybody who is new, I still have plenty of my books, American Diaries 1995, 1996. So as you see, I looked a little bit different 30 years ago, right? It's about 30 years ago. My goodness, time flies. I came to America for the very first time in 1995. I worked at a summer camp for inner city kids from Chicago as a photography specialist. Then I got my calls as a lifeguard. And this is 1996. All my stories about discovering America. And that's available on sputnikov.com if you want the book signed. So those are available. You could see some behind me right there with my picture of my wife, and behind there's a bunch of books. So I print plenty. So if you want signed copy, that's available. We need 6 more people. We'll start drinking. It's actually, we have a little mystery. I hope my late father, and my first shot of vodka will be to his memory. My father passed away on the last day of 2023 on December 31st. But he always liked drinking, and I wonder. It looks like it was never open, but over the years, so this bottle 82, so that's what 42-year-old bottle of alcohol level went down. So I wonder. One option is just was alcohol slowly escaping, or my dad maybe found a way to open it and then reseal it. So we'll find out. But yeah, so that's the plan. Super exciting. Getting 100,000 subscribers for this type of kind of narrow, specialized channel is pretty, I think, cool. Oh, looks like we're getting ready for the next shot. So first $10 towards the $50 shots, and there's my shot glass. I think maybe I brought them from Ukraine. Don't remember, but this back in the Soviet days, collecting this хрусталь, crystal glasses, crystal dishware was like a big thing. People, for some reason, were trying to invest their extra money into this stuff. A lot of it came from Czechoslovakia, and people paid a lot of money for these things. And yeah, I don't know why. In the government, they saw a big demand. All right, so we had 100 people watching the channel. Cool, watching this live, and $15 coming to next. So I wish I could play some additional music, but I'll have my first shot for my late father. And he made it till 77, which is really impressive. He feels sealed. Oh my goodness. I might not be able to open this thing. Oh wow. 42-year-old sealed. Oh gosh. Have that thing to.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, my wife will get me a little. Wow. I need to do a little more workout. I can't even open a bottle of vodka. That's hilarious. So yeah, working on it. Yeah, that's. And some people commented that it looks like a bottle of oil. This design of the bottle is actually how the old bottles in the like Russia and Ukraine were back in 1800s, kind of the standard shape. Then of course they went to the round bottles like everybody else. But yeah, this is, yeah, I guess it does look like oil for Americans. But all right, thank you. We might not be able even to open this thing. That'll be hilarious. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I'm working it, but wow. Okay, we got it. I got it. So definitely my dad did not open this thing. So yep, here we go. I mean, there's little smell of alcohol. Vodочка. And remember, drinking alcohol is bad for your health. It makes people do things they're not supposed to do. So first one for my father, born in 1946, passed away in 2024, served in Soviet military, had 2 kids, me and my brother. So to you, Dad, maybe you're watching. Okay, so it's still vodka. It definitely not 40 proof, not that strong. So not too bad. Got a little mushroom going with it. So, but wow. I don't know. Maybe on some collector's market, this bottle will be worth a lot of money. But it's worth it. We work hard towards it with your support, and we'll get another one going right away. Whew. And usually we say na zdоровье to your health when we have a shot. That's a lot of vodka to drink. I probably shouldn't get the whole thing, but it's definitely not as strong as the normal alcohol. So here we go for 100,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone who decided it's worth to subscribe to my channel to listen to my long and boring stories. It was a long journey, but thank you, everyone. So that's for you guys. I guess we need to chalk notes, all right? We're usually supposed to clank the glasses, but here we go. Yeah, that's definitely tastes a little watery, but hey. And one of the best marinated mushrooms is the lisichki.
So how about I'll ask you some questions people are asking since you can't focus on this.
Oh, okay, just a second.
Okay.
People suggest don't fall off my chair. Well, 2 little shots. I'm a big boy. I don't think I can fall out of the chair. That.
Well, that's interesting. Listening to you too.
All right, so we got $20 donation, so we're good, pretty safe. So I can start looking at some of your questions. If you have any questions, my next video I'm planning to do about beekeeping, about people who are doing making honey in Soviet Union. So that's my next topic when I recover from excessive consumption of alcohol tonight. But I think we'll be all right. So na zdоровье, that's how you cheer each other. I think it's the same na zdоровье in Ukrainian. There's a question. Have you ever been to Mackinac? Yes, we actually, my family on my wife's side, they used to have a campsite in Sheboygan, near Sheboygan, Michigan. So it's like right here in the middle. And so we went there pretty much every summer. And yeah, I explored northern Michigan quite a bit. Mackinac Island, Mackinac City. We went to Upper Peninsula. Visited as far as Picture Rocks in Manusin, right? Went to, never can say those falls, Tequamanon, T-Falls, I call them. I went there several times. One time was my wife when she was pregnant with my daughter, and she was not a happy camper because she was like really pregnant. Her daughter was born in October, and I was like probably in August. So yeah, so hey, we got 9% here too. Some got ladies, 9% of female subscribers. I think it's even less than that. So
you've got Latvia, Vienna.
Oh, we got people. Well, thank you so much to joined from Europe. I was trying to get a little bit earlier, 5 p.m. I guess it's not too bad. So that's pretty cool. And okay, so we got a donation from Bernie and a question. Was the racism in the USSR among Central Asians or Caucasian region? I saw in your recent video and wanted to know what else was going on. Well, there was some issues, as you probably know now, like between Azerbaijani and Armenians, because well, they're different nations and they're different religion. And I can't tell the story, but during the Stalin regime, he kind of reassigned the territories. So Karabakh region was transferred to Armenia, I believe, from Azerbaijan. I don't remember exactly. So he kind of like planted little time bombs. So when Soviet Union fell apart, all those territories became problems and wars. And one of the first conflicts after Soviet Union disappeared was a Karabakh conflict between Armenians and Azerbaijanis. About Central Asia, I can't tell you much. I don't know any information, but I know when, like we always called people from like Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, because they're always dark haired. We called them chorne, the blacks. So that was kind of racist attitude towards them from like Slavic people. I'm not sure if they had any names. And of course, what's kind of interesting, I think I described it in my channel in my video. Those guys had no problem slipping around with like Russian or Ukrainian girls while they were here because they had a lot of money. But they always wanted to marry a virgin from their own nationality. So they'll be, screwing around in Ukraine or Moscow and then going home and looking for a girl that is a virgin. And so he could be, gigolo. And do all the kind of stuff, but then he wanted to have a virgin to get married. We got people from Brooklyn, actually, one of my uh, people from maybe from Russia, Ukraine, East Washington. Okay, let's see where else we got. And yeah, we can get to the 100 likes. I'm not sure if it helps a lot, but supposedly it does. So, okay, let's see what else we got here. I'm just gonna read some comments. So, Aaron, thank you for your donation. Besides having a color TV and the phone, did your uncle have any other goodies after trading for his artistic services? Well, he got that two-room Khrushchevka apartment because he wrote the letter and managed to pass it on to government, and they basically called back and ordered to give him an apartment because he got that whole picture set up that he is a homeless artist, and you're not to be supposed to be homeless. I cannot think of anything else. I mean, just to get an apartment, that was a big deal. And he probably was the only person in whole part of the building who had a telephone. And then his son, Alex, my cousin, he managed to buy a car. So they somehow saved enough money. He bought not a Lada, but Moskvich. So he just got married and right away bought a car. So he managed to stash aside some money. So that's we got. What I remember. Okay, we got also Moab, Utah. That's a cool place too. I should take my Prius there and do some off roading in Moab. I heard it's a good off roading place. Okay, so definitely we just hit $50. Thank you for guys. There is a generous donation. Let's see who I can drop. Andrew Krause. Sorry about your father. Will you be able to make it back to Ukraine for the funeral? Oh, no, I didn't have a chance. Just the travel time. Now you can't fly directly to Ukraine. You need to fly to Poland. They take train or a bus, which is about another 18 hours. And now it's all, used to be people had to do everything in their own apartments and deal with no funeral homes. Now they have that type of business. So my brother pretty much, he called, they came, verified that it was natural death, took him, and he got cremated in the next several days. So no, I didn't have a chance, and I knew there's really not really possible to do it. So yeah, he got cremated. That was his wish, and he wanted his ashes to be taken to his home village in Zhytomyr region, and that's where he will be buried. I think his sister planning to do it sometimes in April. And thank you so much. Appreciate your donation. Got Dusseldorf, Germany. Got Bulgaria. So boy, yeah, people from all over the place. So we definitely hit mark. I think of $50. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your questions.
We have Flint Ironstag who donated his first donation after 18 years of being on YouTube.
All right, here we go. It's a bad idea. I have some some bad stories about when I was drunk. It definitely used to be back when I was young. If I have too much vodka, I'll be like full of energy when I do something crazy. Now I'm just getting sleepy and tired, just like my dad. It's going pretty easy, yeah. And it's interesting. I still remember. It's my wife Cheryl.
Hi.
All right, get a little water here. All right, as CM Doc, thank you for your donation. Congratulations, Sergey. John Wayne Cheeseburger on 100K. Here is 10% to your shot. Appreciate it. We got it. Vito, thank you for your €2. Everything helps. Thank you so much. There is a question from Dylan. What kind of foreign food was popular in Soviet Union? Well, the most probably high demand was bananas. They were super expensive. They only were once a year in the summer. I have a video about it. The only other foreign food was coming from Finland. They had viola melted cheese. Was really popular in those containers people kept because they were so handy, plastic containers. We had some food items from Hungary and from Bulgaria, like sweet peppers, Bulgarian ketchup, but we didn't have any American food or anything like that, of course. I live in Michigan also. Hello from Central Michigan. Hello from Southwest Michigan. Ireland here need pliers. Yeah, that definitely was hard to open, but it's definitely if I'll pull a muscle, I'll open it. That was the most embarrassing thing will be to have a short of me failing to open a bottle of vodka. In Soviet Russia, a bottle opens you. Yeah. And we got a donation from Koala. Thank you so much. You're always so generous. Congratulations for reaching 100K. Tavarish Sergey, is your family in Ukraine safe? Yeah, my mother just came to Kiev. If you watched my recent video, my brother took some pictures when he went to pick her up. And now she's helping to clean an apartment, organize it of my father passing. So they're doing okay. But recently, Putin, every time Ukraine will blow up some strategic object like in oil processing plant, all Putin can do is just shoot at the cities. So they had she just heard what's going on in Kiev and heard explosions. Okay, what else we got? I'm just going through your comments and questions. Our question: what was the view of the East Germany and Soviet Union? I get from your videos they were viewed as a separate thing from the rest of USSR. Of course, East Germany was separate. We didn't interact much with East Germany. We had some goods from East Germany. The film, you see my camera above me, right? Kiev 19. The best slide film you could get in Soviet Union was Orvo or RWO from East Germany. I also remember they had German soap. I made a video about it already. There was only soap had a picture of pretty German girls on it. That was kind of funny. Generally, it was positive, but it was still like when I was a kid and we played, war games. There was always you play Germans, ours, Soviets, but we just call them Nazi, or Germans. We never say it was Nazis or fascists. It was Germans. So but generally, it was kind of positive attitude because that's what the Soviet propaganda presented to us. We have some Craig is drinking Guinness with me. Good job. So yeah, talk about Mackinac. The question: what do you think about Putin blaming the ISIS attack on Ukraine? Well, that's totally expected. Back in 1994, so 20 years ago, they had a similar situation with terrorist attack, so-called Sugar from Ryazan. So Ryazan, it's a city in Russia, and people in one of the buildings, they caught some people bringing bags with explosives into the basement, and there was several explosions already happened, including in Moscow, and hundreds of people died. And so they called the cops. Cops came and they arrested several people. So there was definitely explosives being delivered into the basement, getting ready for another explosion. But it turned out those people who were doing it were actually members of Federal Security Service, FSB. So then they started doing, it was just a practice training. It was sugar. So they had this nickname, Ryazan Sugar, because government claimed that was not explosive, it was sugar, but in reality it was explosives. So that's how Putin basically started second Chechen war. He blamed Chechens for terrorist attacks and attacked Chechnya. So I see total similar things here. Of course, war already going on with Ukraine, but officially Russia doesn't have a war. It's a special military operation, SVO. So now this will be a great excuse for Putin, blame it on Ukraine, announce new wave of mobilization and announced, I think already Peskov, the press secretary of Russia, announced that war changed in special military operation became now a war. So I think this is what the main reason for what's going on. And just for people who joined, we are here for this reason. 100,000 subscribers on Ushanka Show. So thank you so much for being part of the show. If you're not subscribed, please do so. I was surprised to find out there's a people who watch my videos regularly, but they're not subscribed. They just get them in the recommended videos. They'll watch it, they like it, but I honestly don't know what's the reason not to subscribe. It's free, right? YouTube doesn't charge for subscriptions, so you can always subscribe. I appreciate it. So, but yeah, this is why we're here. And see, like people used to joke that I'm drinking vodka out of this glass. No, it's real water. But yeah, this is that's what we're drinking today. 42-year-old bottle of vodka from Kiev that my father purchased in 1982. Okay, I'll see. But yeah, so I'm not surprised. It's a resign sugar from Resign 2.0. This is what Putin is famous for, to scare his own people by terrorist attacks and then blame it on somebody else. And just what, like 8 days ago or so, United States warned about imminent terrorist attacks around Moscow and some large gatherings, and Putin dismissed that warning, and now they're acting like, oh look, since Americans knew about it, that's Americans who planned this terrorist attack. So that's pretty bad. They need to make a movie after they buy rights to Sergei's books. I don't know if it will be good enough for a book, but I'm right now working on the next book, 1997, predictably. So I'm about 2/3 done. So hopefully by the end of this year, maybe early, I'll have a 1997 ready. People like it, got good reviews. So if you didn't read it yet, I appreciate if you buy my book. Question from Vito: were pets a common thing in a big city? I actually have a video on the topic of pets. Let me see really quick here. How we do it right here? Just a second, I'll send you a link. I didn't prepare on this. Let me make a dark screen again. Content. Interestingly enough, pets were not as popular back in the Soviet days as they become popular later. After Soviet Union disappeared, I'm posting the link right now below in the comments. Video about pets. It just exploded, became like a status symbol. People who would be doing okay, making money, they will buy. First of all, they'll buy a leather jacket for him and for his wife, so they'll wear brown or black leather jackets. Next step to show that they're doing good, that will be buying a dog. So dog ownership really exploded. Like it was insane, and of course we started having an issue with the dog crap, because there was culture of having dogs but no culture of picking up after yourself. So that was really bad. And before that, people had pets for practical reasons, mostly out in the countryside. And of course, if there's a lonely lady who is retired, she might get a cat as a companion. But we didn't have a lot of pets during the Soviet days. When I said then, it became a huge thing. I personally had a fish tank. And there's one thing about me: when I was little, I asked my mother if I can have a puppy. And my mom replied that I'll have to pick up his crap. And I kid you not, that image of me picking up dog crap killed right away any desire to have a dog. I'm like, oh, I don't want to have a dog. I have a donation from Renat for 2,000 of RSD. Not sure what it is, but we'll call it $50. How about that? So we'll have another one Thank you, Renat, and congratulations, he said, on 100K, and my sincere condolences. Yeah, that's kind of one of the sad things about being an immigrant or migrant. There's a price to pay. I didn't use, as Trump called it, chain migration like his wife Melania did. She married American, got citizenship, then she brought her parents. My parents had zero interest in moving to America, so they across the ocean. I'm here, so I missed out a lot on their lives, and of course, they missed a lot of my lives, like birth of their grandchildren. They met both of my kids, but the time gap is huge. Like my parents saw my daughter, who is 23 almost. They saw her last time when she was 2, and of course, we see each other, when we talk online. But this is kind of the challenges you have. Of course, it's not as bad as it used to be when people use the ship and they never come back to their home country and they never see their parents again. I visited my parents quite a bit, so at least that's good. All right, so here we are. Renat and all you guys, thank you for your support. And unfortunately, this vodka is pretty mild. I think this is why level went down so much. Alcohol part kind of evaporated, so it's it's way easier. I'll be probably already feeling something, but I don't, so it's good. Oof. My grandpa always, when he used to have a shot of vodka uh, before every meal, so he will have a maybe a little bit bigger stopachka, или stopka, and he'll have one shot before having breakfast or lunch or dinner. But he was always will sniff bread after that. I don't know why. He just like almost, and then he will eat the bread and then his food. Mm. So I have a good news for you. I won't get wasted drinking this vodka. We don't need to worry. So yeah, pretty safe. Seen is safe. It's probably there is a measuring device to measure how strong is alcohol. So a question next from Tilambas. Tilambas, what made you to start your channel? Well, I work among Americans. I'm the only Sergey at the whole the company that used to own our uh, place, like 6,000 workers. I was the only Sergey. I was the only Sergey on site. It's kind of neat. Um, so I don't need to even people don't need to know my last name. Everyone knows who's Sergey. Um, and I notice, sometimes we would what Americans call bullshitting. You just if it's work is slow, people just gather together, have some coffee in the morning, and they talk. Of course, most Americans like talk about sports. Family guys will talk about kids, wives, and sometimes I hear something, I will chime in like, "Hey, in Soviet Russia, wives tell you what to do, or whatever." And I notice every time I do this comment, people like pause and listen. They sound really surprised, like there was like hardly any knowledge about that, and people were interested in my stories. So it kind of came to my mind, maybe I'll make a YouTube channel. At that time I already had a Russian language YouTube channel, but my experience of living in America, telling people in Russia and Ukraine, the channel is in Russian language. So yeah, I started doing this 9 years ago in English, and I said originally I just thought about making it kind of like more humorous. That's why the name Ushanka Show. I thought it's gonna sound kind of silly, and then questions started coming in, and I like, oh, people have no idea. Let me tell you about racism in the Soviet Union. Oh, people have no idea. Let me tell you about that, and that's kind of went from like, hey, Ushanka Show, ha ha ha, to like, okay, we're discussing quite serious topics here. And then, of course, then feedback came from you guys. A lot of people sent me books. That's how I did the review on the Black on Red book. I'm planning to do next one soon. I'm gonna start on Building Utopia. It's a really good book about constructing truck factory GAZ in Nizhny Novgorod. So All right, so we got a couple more donations. Phil, thank you so much. So we are about $30 again, so we might have to drink another one. You guys are mean. Phil, congrats, Sergey, and thank you for all the great work. Sorry about your dad. Did anyone bring shortwave world band radios into USSR? Did they get caught? You didn't have to bring those radios. We actually had them for sale. They were not cheap. Can't think of a price. They probably about $100 or $150 rubles. We have father had a radio called Geolog and had shortwave and long wave, all that stuff. And in the morning, that was his. On the weekend, that was kind of part of our little morning routine. I'll come to his room and he'll be tuning to the Voice of America or BBC or German Wave. What is that? We have Free Radio, Free Europe, and then we'll listen to their news, Enemy Voices, that was called. But that was a quite challenge because the radios were jammed. And I actually have a video on that topic. I'll put the link. Enemy Voices, sure enough. I recorded video. Let's see when would they record that. Back in 2021. So I'll post the link, Enemy Voices. So no, you didn't have to smuggle radios. We had plenty. Enemy Voices. Yeah, and so that, yeah, it's no problem. And if you want it was harder to listen in big cities because I don't, when I was a little kid, I imagined jamming stations like they are along the border, right? So like there's the border between Poland and Soviet Union. There's antennas, jammers along the way, and they stop in the signal. But what was going on? They will place big jammer antennas, emitters, not antennas, emitters around like large cities. And so in the city, it will be really hard to listen. But because out in the country, they didn't care that much because there was not that much population. And so it was legal. It was fine. It was, you wouldn't get punished, at least in the 80s, 70s, for listening to the enemy voices. Ragnar, thank you so much for your donation. Gotta go back to work. I'm sorry you have to work on Saturday. Have a great day. Congrats on 100K. There is a question and donation from Koala. Thank you again. Do you have any favorite liquor brand other than vodka? When I came to America, I fell in love with Irish cream, like Bailey's. I got introduced to it on a plane. They give you those little bottles, and I really like that. Then I got introduced to White Russian. People ask me if I know what White Russian is, and I was not sure what they're talking about because every Russian is white, but not every white is Russian. So I tried that. I like it even better. So I use it as a coffee creamer on the weekend. I don't like tequila. It tastes to me like a really crappy quality moonshine. I do wine, but I like sweet wine. I hate beer. I don't drink any beer. Vodka, I don't say I like it, but I like Bloody Marys. I like Bloody Marys a lot. So that's pretty much. And brand wise, I discovered that Sobieski Polish vodka is really good and pretty inexpensive. So that's what I usually buy. I know right now Kirkland, what is that, Costco brand? It's a huge bottle. It's so cheap, but they're so humongous. I just don't want to buy such a big bottle. Are you a prolific drinker? I'm not sure what prolific means. I drink occasionally. I started cutting down quite a bit. My wife told me it's bad for your health, but uh, really, there's no reason to drink. I don't have really stressful life. As I said, I like just have some Baileys or just whatever off-brand Irish creamer in my coffee, but otherwise I don't touch alcohol often. And when I saw my father, because my father, maybe he was a prolific drinker. He was Drunk pretty much almost every day. Coming from work drunk, because that's what guys would do after work. They'll sit down, have a bottle of vodka, and then just finish it and they stagger home. So I've seen all that relations in the family, arguments, fights, and my dad hiding bottles of alcohol somewhere so he can drink it on the weekend. I really not a big. I guess I'm not a prolific drinker. Periodically, maybe. And then, of course, there's some kind of celebration. That's what the kind of shock for me to what I live in Michigan, and my in-laws are Seventh-day Adventists. So the experience of having birthdays and any other holidays without any alcohol, except maybe New Year's celebration champagne, it was really bizarre experience. It's just like no one is drinking anything. Have cake, have food, sing happy birthday, and no one opens any alcohol. For us, like even if it was a kid's birthday, parents will be drinking. So that was quite a bizarre experience. There's donation and a question from James Varela. Did you see film 20 Days in Mariupol? No, I have not seen the movie. And have you been there? I'm not positive. Maybe I was there when I traveled. One time we went to Azov Sea for the vacation in the summer. And I believe there was a train from Kiev to Mariupol. No, it was Melitopol, not Mariupol, Melitopol. And we took a bus to our place where we stayed on Azov Sea. But no, it's a big industrial city. There's really nothing there to see. So I never had a chance. I didn't travel much, even around Ukraine. Uh, I like spending summers in the village with my grandparents. And when I finally started traveling, that was flying to America. So, all right, see what else we got. Okay, it was another Ragnar that left. Sorry, I just didn't notice your question. Second question, any recommendations for learning Russian language? I work 50, 60 hours a week, so I don't have time to take a class. You really don't have to. I mean, Duolingo, that program on the phone that you can download and play with that, it will do great. You can start watching, if you have time, some movies in Russian language. There's a plenty on YouTube, and you can, some of them come with the English subtitles, so you can watch that and generally just immerse in yourself. What I suggested to people, maybe like put yellow sticky notes all over your room in your apartment or house, and what it called, deviated door, couch, divan, and then you kind of try to always point at something and until you remember every item in the room. And of course, there's a plenty of YouTube channels that teach you Russian language. That's why I'm not really bothering to start my own. People ask for it. There's a plenty of sources right here on YouTube. So, but the main thing is immersing yourself. It was one of my biggest challenges when I came to America back in the summer of 1995. I learned English reading books. So that's like you learn to drive a car with a manual transmission by book, and then you have to drive it. So it took me about 3 months when I finally started speaking somewhat decent. So, all right. So, as we say in Ukraine, що сьогодні деренчить, треба його промочить. Like there's some noise coming out of my throat. I need to lubricate it a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that thing definitely lost strength. And somebody commented, so that's what will be for my mother. And the next one, if we'll make it, will be for my wife for her patience with my YouTube hobby. YouTube. She's patient for my passion. How about that? So yeah, I should be a journalist in alternative reality, but never happened. So here we are.
Did they show them this?
Oh yeah, yeah. My wife just reminded me. There's another thing. This thing right here. It has several meanings, or somebody acting goofy and you don't understand what's going on. If person does that, they tell you that person is drunk. Or if the person approaches you, smiles and does that, he's inviting you to have a drink. Let's go together to gastronome. We'll pull money together, buy a bottle of vodka, then we'll have some drinky drink. So that's the symbol for let's go drink, or yeah, that person is drunk.
You see the Disney one? Question.
No.
Where do you take vacations at your revenge at Walt Disney World?
um, there's a recommendation. Probably should be washing that vodka down with a couple of Lenin Kugel beers. I guess it's some Michigan beer. I said I don't like beer, and of course, mixing vodka with beer, it's a pretty dangerous business. Although we have a saying in Russian, "Vodka без пива, деньги на ветер." Drinking vodka without beer, it's wasting your money. Question: do you like band Kino? I like it a lot. I'm planning to make video about it. But yeah, that was huge. In the late '80s, my goodness, Kino was ever playing out of every window. Yeah, that was good. Good music. We got people from Troy, Michigan, Portland, Oregon, upstate New York. Somebody is saying, "Show us your wife." I think she showed up once again, but you also can see her behind me right there. I think that picture was taken on our wedding day back in 1999. Montreal in Canada here. Buenos Aires. How about that? Got some people from South America. There's one of the places I don't know if I'll be able to visit, but it'll be kind of cool to visit it. Somebody saying you need 3 people for that bottle. It's 0.5 liter for 3 people. This is probably required 4, but I'm gonna do myself this heavy lifting. We got people from Quebec. Can you repost that video with the picture of you in the synagogue wearing a kippa? I'm not sure I can repost the picture. I don't have a video from the synagogue. There's actually the story behind that picture. So I was making a video about on my Russian YouTube channel. I think it's before I had Ushanka Show, and there was a ladies were asking like, "Hey, do you know like how can I meet American guy, whatever?" And I looked it up and like, hey, there's a place in Kharkiv. Of course, now you don't want to go to Kharkiv; it's right on the border with Russia. And there was this bridal agency in Kharkiv ran by American who came back, and he's a Jewish American who back to Kharkiv, and he had a bridal agency. So he pretty much, local girls who want to marry foreigners, and he take pictures, make profiles, and then have a whole service. They'll meet you when you came to Kharkiv, and then you meet the girls you like, and then you have conversations, and if there is some connection, people like each other, they might consider getting married. So I made that video about that YouTube website, and then the guy contacted me. He found my video, and then he wanted to talk to me. So when I came to Kiev, oh my goodness, it's maybe 2016, we actually met in Kiev. He came from Kharkiv, and he invited me to synagogue. And over there, if you go inside, you need to wear that kappa. And there's one thing I remember: for the Russians and Ukrainians, it's a bad thing if you walk in somebody's house and you don't take your hat off. It's considered rude, impolite, and people can ask you, are you Jewish or something? Because only Jews wearing hats indoors. People like, I guess it's maybe a religious thing for the Russian Orthodox, but we take hats off when we go indoors. So that's how I went to that synagogue. And that was a bizarre experience because when I was a kid, that synagogue was confiscated by the Soviets, by the Reds, and eventually made into the Theater Kukol. So that was like a puppet theater for kids. So it was a children theater of puppets, so you have a whatever that thing, puppets and kids watching it. So they turned synagogue into the puppet theater for kids. And I went there several times. So I remember that building. And now I come back as adult wearing the kappa, and it's a synagogue, and they actually had a restaurant in there, so we had actually had food. So that's the story behind that picture. I'm surprised you noticed that, but yeah, that was an interesting experience. I hope that guy is doing okay right now, but yeah. Karen, for you. Okay. On your latest video, that static was shown near the end. Oh, statistics about 9%. I'm interested in personal histories and appreciate learning about your insights. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's even I have some videos that I recorded my wife doing cooking, making Ukrainian dishes like with American twist, and it's still 90 some percent only males are viewing it. So my channel is definitely not popular among females. We got people from Massachusetts, Alabama. Moving along, New Hampshire. I knew your wife is pretty. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a good taste. All right. Well, now it's maybe time to have a shot for my wife. She definitely will be one. I barely spoke any English, lived on the farm, and had no car. And still, she agreed to go on a blind date. That's how I met my wife. So they walked me into the bar with my eyes closed, and she had her eyes closed, and we felt each other, and we decided, okay, we like each other.
Not
Because
true.
I honestly had no idea what blind date was, and it's like, what are you talking about? So yeah, that's it. I was sitting at the farm steering apple butter. If anybody knows what apple butter is, I do. And uh, daughter-in-law of the farmer came and she asked me if I'm interested to go on a blind date with one of her friends, and I had no idea, but I was like, whatever. American women are weird, but I have nothing going on anyway. So we are 20 some years later. So for my wife Cheryl, to my wife Cheryl. Whew, that was a good one.
I need the bread.
You're getting prettier and prettier with every shot. You might get lucky tonight. Oh. All right, now I think I'm train has started moving along. New Hampshire. Okay. Hello from Croatia. Хорватия, we say in Russian. Do you have some thoughts about afterlife while you were, was a child growing up in the Soviet Union? Well, it's kind of beauty when you're a child, you don't think about those things. And I never grew up religious, so was never thought about it. I know as a kid, the only relates to afterlife. We had this, I guess there was a movie. So there was some kind of children's movie, and that was about finding a matchbox, a magic matchbox, and it had three matches, magic matches. And when you break that match, you can make a wish, and that wish will come true. And of course, once match is broken, you're done. So that was my goodness, early 80s, maybe late 70s. So I was, I don't know, 7, 8 year old, maybe even earlier. But I remember I was imagining if I'll find this matchbox. Oh, I can't reach it. Can I? No. Just a second. Oh. So this is it's actually my drawing from 1984. I still keep some old crap around. So there's your magic match, and there's the matchbox. So when you break that match, you can make a wish. So my first wish, and the reason I'm opening it because I want to show you. So this is our matchboxes back from the Soviet days, made in Gomel, Belarus. That's the ones you can buy for 1 kopeck. Had 100 matches, but in the magic thing, it'll be only 3 matches, right? So my first wish was peace in the world. I was so scared of the nuclear war that I first wished there'll be no war, peace in the world. And then Second match that I live forever, and then third match my parents live forever. So that's the only relation to yeah. And actually, look at this cheap Americans matches versus cool Soviet matches. I found that somewhere, really old matches, so pretty neat. Some old stuff here too. So yeah, if some of you just joined me, we are here together. I don't think we're gonna get to 200 viewers. We're here to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. There's the silver plaque. I don't know if we'll make it to 1 million. Took 9 years to get to 100,000, and right now I see the new subscribers just not adding at all, like 500 people only a month. So 900,000 minus divided by 500 people, that's many years. So anyway, we'll go next to your questions. I come here to visit fairly often to see my son. Okay, so there's conversation about Michigan. Another question from Aaron. How did collective farm workers get the money to buy a cow? They sold cows too. So, cow can be productive only so long. I can tell you how many years, maybe 10 years, maybe less. So periodically they had to sell a cow. And cow every year gets horny. There's probably some, I want to say veterinarian terminology when the cows want to have a bull. And I knew it as a kid because every time in the evening we come outside to watch cows come home. Literally, every summer it was part of my entertainment to watch cows come home. And the cow that gets ready for meeting a bull, they'll start acting like a bull. They climb on other cows, and that's the first sign you need to take it to a bull. So our cow herd, the people's, not collective farm, there'll be maybe 30 cows. So there'll be no bull, just cows. So then you see the cows start doing it, it's time to take her. Then we take the collective farm and they'll have one bull. And, after that cow gets pregnant, collective farm workers were not allowed to keep the little baby cow. There's a name for it, right? What is the baby cow called?
Calf.
Calf. So, but if you need, like, if your cow getting old, then you keep, if it's a female cow, baby cow, calf, and then you keep it, you raise it, you sell your old cow, and that's you get money. Because my grandparents had little tiny pensions since they were both collective farm workers. My grandpa had 3,000 rubles in his savings account, which is a lot of money, considering their income was about 50 rubles a month pension, but they could sell pigs, they could sell milk, vegetables if they could go to the market. I think my grandpa for a while was making extra money selling piglets. So he will have, male pig, female pig, and then he will sell piglets on the market. So there was a way to make money. So I don't remember anybody having trouble. Or you can go if you work at a collective farm, because their cows also same thing. They will have calves every year that they will provide you with the baby cow, or you can buy it. Usually it's probably what they'll just give it to you if you're a good worker and you work at least 200 days a year without pay for collective farm. We got Finland. Congratulations from Finland. I think Kekkonen was a good president who maintained good relations with USSR. Well, I don't think you guys had a really chance to do anything else but maintain good relations with USSR. I want to say, if anybody's watching from Finland, I'm very sorry. For a long time, I totally believed the propaganda and all the stories about Finland attacking Soviet Union in 1939 and Finland being another Nazi country, just like Nazi Germany. All those lies. And when I started learning now about the war, Winter War, 1939-1940, then continuation war, I just want to say I'm very sorry. What the Soviet Union, Stalin did to Finland is horrible. And I apologize. And I truly hope that one day when war in Ukraine will be over, when Russia finally loses. And I hope you guys will get back territories that you lost in 1940. I'm very sorry. That's just horrible. The fact that you were so patient with people who did it to you, killed so many innocent Finnish people, and all right, for the Finland, for your resistance, because now I see Ukraine now in the same boat, fighting again another crazy dictator from Moscow, who for some reason thinks that any territory that they think is theirs, they can take by force. What you guys did, it's just really close to miracle. But yes, and I'm very sorry because what they taught me in school, it was always like those Finnish people. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. So, anyways, now one for the Finnish people. You guys are heroes. Slava to Finland, Slava to Ukraine. Need to be careful here.
Hey, somebody's asking a good question. What is a Ukrainian Nazi? It makes no sense.
Oh, so my wife is kind of monitoring comments. The question, what is Ukrainian Nazi? The origins of that story is before beginning of, okay. So Soviet Union didn't participate in World War II till 1941, according to Soviet history. We were just, cute little bear just minding their own business in the woods, and then scary German wolf jumped on the back of the bear, started tearing up. But when, my opinion, when Hitler realized what Stalin had in mind, that he was expecting a big war and helping that big war in Europe to appear, then just when Germany will get stuck fighting France and England, he will jump, stab pretty much Hitler in the back, and roll and occupy most of the Europe or the whole Europe. But the first problem appeared for Stalin that France fell so fast. It was not expected. They expected another kind of scenario, World War One, when everyone's stuck and bleeding and destroying each other. So then he was waiting when Hitler will attack Britain Islands, Operation Sea Lion, and somewhere there Hitler realized that Stalin was planning to attack him, and that's why he, in hurry, moved all his troops back across the European continent and started preparing to fight the Soviets to do a preemptive attack. Stalin was planning to attack Germany on July 6, 1941. That's what some modern day historians figure out. Sunday in the summer, so July 6, 1941. So Hitler beat Stalin by like 2 weeks. And that was the worst time you could attack for Stalin. So basically, Stalin was in this motion, ready to lower his axe on Hitler, and Germany managed to stab in the stomach because they were all in the movement and all that. So Germany and Abwehr, to be exact, so German intelligence, army intelligence, got in touch with Ukrainian nationalists. So that's Stepan Bandera, Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists. So those guys originally were fighting Poland. When Poland became independent at the end of World War One, they started working on their theory that Poland is only for Polish. So they began the program called Polonization. Just like Russification, there was Polonization, is turning Ukrainians and other nationalities that were on the Polish territory, making them Polish, which means banning Ukrainian language, banning Ukrainian schools, Ukrainian churches, moving Polish people into areas and stuff like that. When Soviet Union attacked Poland together with Germany, those territories became part of Soviet Union, and Stalin began his process of Sovietization, which is arresting a lot of intelligentsia, church people and stuff, sent to Siberia. So now organization of Ukrainian nationalists, OUN and Bandera, became enemies of the Soviet regime. So Abwehr offered them cooperation. We can use your help in Western Ukraine. So they armed Ukrainian. They created, I think it's called Battalion Nachtigal. So there was Ukrainian nationals that became part of Abwehr, and when Germany attacked Soviet Union on June, Nachtigal marched into Lviv, Western Ukraine, and they took over. So this is what the beginning of the Ukrainian Nazi story. So Abwehr, nothing to do, can you say the Wehrmacht was Nazi? Nazi is the members of German National Socialist Party. No Ukrainians became members of National Socialist Party. They agreed to cooperate with German Abwehr because enemy of my enemy is my friend. What Ukrainians were hoping to do is create their own Ukrainian state. So when Nachtigal marched into Lviv, they took over. Then Stepan Bandera came and other leaders, and they announced restoration of Ukrainian state without consulting with Berlin. That was just kind of movement. Let's take advantage. They took advantage of us. Now let's take advantage of them. Well, Hitler didn't like the idea. He had different plans. At that time, he was quite optimistic about his success in fighting Stalin. So he didn't need any allies like Stepan Bandera. So they arrested pretty much everyone who participated in organizing Ukrainian government in Lviv. Stepan Bandera spent next years in concentration camp in Germany, and they pretty much, some people got shot, quite a few got arrested. So that was the end of cooperation between Germans and Ukrainians. But that's the beginning of the Ukrainian Nazi story. Then later, I believe in 1943, when now Soviet Union, Stalin moving back, Germans realized they need more help. So that's when they started creating national military groups. For reasons, what I read, of course, I don't know, I wasn't born back then, right? They didn't trust all those national military organizations, so they decided that SS should supervise them. So that's why all those national groups were part of SS. But it was not SS. There's a different SS, right? There's a Waffen SS, which is military SS. So they had SS officers, German officers, supervising, watching over these national groups. And that's how they created in Western Ukraine, Galicia. And it was SS. So that's another continuation of Nazi story that Ukrainians were Nazis. Somehow Russians forget to mention there was also SS Rusich national, I think it was division. There was a Cossacks from Don region, which is Russia, SS. So that's not just Ukrainian Nazis. If you want to paint with Nazi brush, there's a lot of Russians that were part of this similar Nazi SS, Waffen SS national armies. And of course, there was a Dutch and Norwegians and so on. So you start calling those guys SS as well. So that's the story about origins of the Nazi, because it says Galicia and has the two lightning balls below. So hey, look, Ukrainians, Nazis. So that's the origins, pretty much. Okay, that was a long detour. Question: is pizza nasty in Soviet Union? In Soviet Union, pizza didn't taste nasty because we had no pizza. First pizzas appeared after the Soviet Union was gone. I think Pizza Hut was the first American place that introduced franchise that introduced pizza to the Soviets, or maybe they came right before the end of the Soviet Union. But I tried pizza for the very first time in Germany, and it was really horrible experience because that pizza had pineapples, and that mix of pineapples and with pizza and cheese didn't go really well. So now they have pizza and everything. They have fancy pizzas and all. I don't know if they have. They probably have Pizza Hut as well.
Someone wants to know what Ukrainian kvass is supposed to taste like, and I said terrible.
So we got talks about pizzas here. This is the live stream. There's a message from AGS. This is the live stream that I've been waiting since 2000, 28,000 subscribers. So once again, we got kind of up and down. See if people, if you guys just joined, don't forget to like the stream. Then maybe we can get 200 likes. That'll be fantastic. So, but this is the Ushanka Show. And if you're a subscriber, you're one of those 100,000. Every one counts. So yeah, it was a really cool when I realized it's actually possible. And my hope that YouTube will start shadow banning Ushanka Show, and maybe we'll get moving on subscriptions because I know when they decided was one time in February 2023 when YouTube started recommending my channel, and my goodness, I got 30,000 subscribers in 1 month. So potential is quite big. I think I'd have a decent content. There's a lot of information that people don't know, but YouTube for some reason is not really recommending my channel. So that's I think why it took 9 years. Question about East German electronics. I don't think I recall anything about East German electronics. We got our own stereos and don't remember anything from Germany. See what else we got here. So another question: what do you think about attack in Moscow? So terrorist attack. Uh, I mean, we had the American government and other Western governments warned there was an imminent attack possible. So somehow they got information, just like remember American government warned about imminent attack of Russia in February of 2022. Putin didn't pay attention. He said it was a provocations from the West to destabilize situation in Russia. It's definitely a perfect timing for Putin because he just went through his election and now he needs a good excuse to announce new wave of mobilization. And they already give a hint. I already talked about earlier that they're ready to start calling what's going on in Ukraine not special military operation but war, and that's a great excuse for him. It's a repeat of 1994 story about exploding houses in Moscow and other cities in Russia. Oh yeah, Praktika camera. I think I remember, but I don't remember ever for sale. Um, no, it was about dates. For some reason, people mentioned 1994. Maybe there was a attack on. There was a theater attack. Maybe Nordost attack on theater. Maybe that was 1994. And then 1999. See, Putin became 1999. So around that. So yeah, that's we've been seeing that movie before. This question: does borscht makes poop red? I usually don't check color on my poop, but if I eat a beet salad, it makes your pee reddish color. Yes, so there's a natural color. But beet borscht is delicious, and borscht can be different. It's a beet borscht. There's a different borschts. You can have a cabbage borscht. It doesn't make anything. The question: how much power did local governments have in USSR? Well, they had enough power. Basically, they were doing everything they were told to do. They might make some decisions on the local level which road to replace or where to build houses, but otherwise, all the big decisions were coming down the pipe from Kiev and then or from Moscow. So they didn't have much. even in my stories about Russification, there was Ukrainian Communist Party trying to come up with the new law about Ukrainian language while constantly being corrected from Moscow. No, change it, because they were trying to do it kind of mild, kind of slow down the Russian avalanche, and then Moscow like, no, 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 it's fine. You can ban that. You can. So definitely, it was a central economy and a central party control. Question from Jeff Jensen: how many languages do you speak? I speak fluently Russian and English. I speak pretty fluent Ukrainian, but since I don't use it often, I'll be throwing into uh, English or Russian words will be just kind of jumping out of me. So three languages fluently. I understand Polish. I can't really speak, but I understand it. I have a little bit of Spanish, not much, and that's pretty much it. So the friendly advice: shut up and drink to mom. We did that. Take Ukrainian lessons. I try, I when I think or talk to myself, sometimes I do that. I try to do it in Ukrainian, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos in Ukrainian. So I don't really need to take lessons. It's all about practice. I know the words, I know the language, but it's like bench press, and you need to keep on doing it. The question: what is YouTube award for 1 million subscribers? Can you give me? There's a little sticker right on top there. Yeah, thanks. So that when YouTube send me the silver button, they also send this: recognize your team. So the silver button is for 100K, the gold button is for million, and a diamond award is for 10 million. It's kind of wild because it's a huge difference to reach 1 million from 100K. It's 9 times over. So yeah, it's so golden larger. So I'm not sure if it's bigger. At least on the picture, it looks it's bigger. But gold one, the next one, I'm not sure how much gold is in it, but that's a million. So yeah, there's always hope. I kind of don't want to get so excited, but right now the way my channel is doing after crossing 100K, it's not really impressive. But it's not about quantity; it's about quality. And I'm really impressed with the people that join my channel, subscribe to my channel. It's just we have a really good conversations. A lot of people went to Soviet Union. They have good stories. I constantly get pictures, presents. People send me stuff. By the way, uh, I just want to thank Amin. That's the only card I got so far. Congratulations, was 100K. It came from Paris. You may guess. So yeah, Amin, my subscriber, I believe he lives in Canada. But he travels quite a bit, and he sent me postcards from different locations. I collect postcards. I don't have any from South America yet. So if you guys, any of you live in South America, there's my address. I'll appreciate a postcard. That'll be all cool. So yeah, thanks, Amin. So this is I got congratulations from Paris. I've been in Paris with my wife one time a while back. It was really cool. Okay, so let's see.
Amin said thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, he's there. Okay, Amin is watching, so it's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Someone's telling you to go to church. You donated $20.
Go to church.
You've been to church. Bill Wong.
Comrade Sputnikov, are you going to church? No, I grew up. I wouldn't say I'm an atheist. There's another term for the agnostic, right? So I believe when you die, the lights out and it's dark out there. There's maybe empty parking lot. But I'm not a religious person. I don't think you need the church to be a good person. And I see a lot of people that you know they go to church, they read Bible, but definitely they don't. What Bible says, they don't really follow, especially if you start reading Ten Commandments. How you can be pro gun and pro death penalty, and because Ten Commandments says one should not kill, and then what about another chick? There's a lot of this hippie stuff in the Bible that people are hardcore right, and they don't see it in the Bible because Jesus, like a immigrant with quite a lot of hippie ideas, hating rich people. So I don't go to church. I said I don't think I need a church to be a good person. But I respect if people think they need it, sure. But I see most people who are religious people because they got it from their parents. So anyway, but can have a shot for Jesus. It's a good one.
Me.
Trying to think of any good anecdote on the church. There's some good ones out there, but I can't think right now. Anyways, maybe the Vodочка.
My mom got away with Kendall.
No, that's not good. All right. Wow, I would be wasted right now, but it's definitely it lost its some грибочки. Yeah, anyway, really cool. Let's see what else. На здоровье. By the way, speaking of learning Russian, there's two words you can remember really easy. I think someone suggested to me goodbye, до свидания sounds really close to the sound don't spidania. Don't spidania. До свидания. And I love you. Я люблю вас. Yellow blue bus. Yellow blue bus and don't spidania. So this is a short lesson of Russian language. I feel like I'm a bourgeois eating salmon sandwiches. I never had salmon while I lived in Soviet Union. There's no way you could find that in Kiev for sale. No way, Jose. No way, Ivan. We just can't get to 200 viewers, but we can get to 200 likes. We need 6 more. 6 more. Definitely, it's not a Soviet vending machine glass. Those were regular stakan. More like this, but different shape. A little bit smaller. And that's a bizarre thing. If you watch my video, I kid you not, I never even clicked with me that it's gross, that, it's not getting really washed. You're basically kissing the whole neighborhood every time you drink. Never bothered me. It's so strange. There's quite a few things about hygiene in the Soviet Union. I have a video about it way back. When I became Americanized, I'm honestly sometimes horrified. Like, damn, we live some nasty, dirty lifestyle. Somehow it was okay. I was just, oh my gosh. Question: where are you reading the comments from? Are you gonna drink vodka? So on my right side here, I have all your comments. There's a chat going on, so I'm kind of scrolling along. So yeah, great technology. Yeah, modern days. Look at that. You guys see me live. I see your comments live, and you're all over the world. I wonder if anybody from New Zealand, from Australia, anybody from Asia or Africa. We have South America. It was Argentina here. We definitely had Europe. Professor Watt says, I found the channel through Cold War channel. Yeah, we had a great time. I went to Canada, to Montreal, a couple of years ago, and They said they might consider inviting me back. They never did. But yeah, we had a good conversation, and it sounds like I have quite a few subscribers came from there. I still periodically go to those videos and I comment because there's a lot of people that still watch those videos and they comment, especially video about cars. All right, so yeah, people mentioning hostage theater, Moscow theater hostages crisis in 2002. We got Norway. Thank you so much. Okay, it's a great question. How did your wife learn to make borscht? I learned from a Polish great grandmother. That was, guys, really bizarre. So blind date, right? It's anyways right before Thanksgiving. No, Halloween, somewhere there. So the fall of 1998, I'm making apple butter at the farm in here in the Wajak, Michigan, Eau Claire, and so went on this blind date. I had a zero expectation. My wife is gone. I can talk a little bit more openly, and truth is in vodka. Um, so I had zero expectation on this blind date because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I was quite disappointed in generally like in American female. I came with really overblown expectations. You know, growing up in the Soviet Union and later, all I could see America would be American movies or some TV shows or magazines, especially Playboy. So I had this naive, bizarre kind of expectation that every girl on the street in America is a supermodel because that's what you see in the movies, right? So when I came to New York in the summer in June of 1995, and I describe it in my book, and somebody who read it may recognize it. So we went on a walk, and I'm like, and I don't see like model looking girls, and the it's actually was opposite because at that time back in Ukraine and Russia, girls were putting a lot of makeup on. It was like, and we get used to it. They wear miniskirts, high heels. So if Americans come to Kiev or Moscow in the early 90s, late 80s, all the girls on the street looked at them like hookers because there was just a lot of bright makeup, a lot of skin shown. For us, it was just normal attire. So when I go to New York and I was like, where's all the hotties? But that was New York City, right? So when I go to Michigan and now out in the middle of nowhere in the boondocks, whatever you say it, the girls here, most of them a little bit on the chubby side, all wearing pants or jeans or shorts, loose t-shirts, no makeup, hair well done. It was just like, oh, what is going on here? So I was just then I like, okay, at least in the cities, girls look skinnier. But yeah, like Midwestern girls, I was like, maybe it's something in the water. I don't know why they're so big, but it's just the lifestyle, high calories food, and they drive cars everywhere, don't walk a lot. I apologize, maybe vodka talking, but it's just I express what happened to me when I come. So after Hollywood expectations, see the reality of Midwestern, Southwest Michigan, I'm not impressed. And then they tell me, hey, you want to go on a blind date? Sure. Okay. So I had zero expectations to see, somebody attractive and skinny, just whatever, I could sit at the farm because I lived right on the market or just do something different. So I go on the blind date and we're walking this like a restaurant and I see this girl next to the other girl who was not that attractive. And I was like, okay, knowing my luck, the other chick is probably Cheryl. And then she, just extends her hands. Hi, I'm Cheryl. And I was like, wow. So yeah, that's how I met my wife on a blind date. And as you see, she's smoking hot. So having conversation, and she asked me, "Do you like borscht?" And I was literally, I felt like I got punched in the face or punched in the stomach in a good way. Somewhere in the middle of Southwest Michigan, this American girl asking me, "Do I like borscht?" She knows the word borscht, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, I already like you. You're very pretty, and you know the word borscht. So on my second date, we already met together, not with the friends, because she brought a friend, I came with friends. She cooked me beet borscht. Wasn't that good, to be honest. She's not here. She knows about it. Told her it was, but yeah, her mother taught her how to cook borscht. I don't know how my mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, knew about borscht. I think there's a lot of Russians were here because the Seventh-day Adventist community. So she knew how to make borscht. So she taught my wife. On the second date, I was having beet borscht, and of course, they say that we have this expression: the for the man. All right, I see. For the man, the road to his heart goes through his stomach. So yeah, that was the case. So yeah, that's she already knew about borscht before we met, and then of course when my mother came to visit, she watched her cooking, and yeah, she does a lot. She looks what we do, and she changes recipe, makes them simple or easier to make for Americans. Like she doesn't buy, a piece of old cow and then boils it for 3 hours to make broth. She just buys broth. So she does a lot of borscht soup, all the Ukrainian style cutlets, quite a few different things she cooks that way. There's a comment and donation from Flint. Please buy a Mega Millions lottery ticket for Tuesday's $1.1 billion. What would you do if you win such big money? Well, my problem with lotteries, I'm pretty good with math, and the whole chances, I know mathematically what that means. So I never played lottery in America. It's just throwing money away. Personally, it's better to go once a year to casino and just put $5,000 on black or red, and you have so higher chance to win and double your money than win 1.1 billion. But thank you for your donation. Sure, I'll try to remember. I'll go tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and I buy the ticket. What would I do with the money? I'll take all the money right away up front, no payments. Definitely. Oh boy, that'll be actually a good way to donate a bunch of money to Ukraine to help them in that matter. Probably will help my kids and stepkids to buy houses to kind of make their life a little bit easier. I would like to travel, but yeah, it's probably wouldn't mind to give away most of it. I remember a long time ago, I was thinking actually my friends back in Ukraine help them all out, just buy them nice apartments. Um, but of course, we're not in touch anymore. But yeah, I don't have any wild dreams. I don't care about sports cars, um, stuff like that. So there's some things I'm happy that I didn't grow up in America, so I don't have that consumerism. But definitely will make my life easier. I'll be still doing YouTube channel just for as a hobby. So anyway, and we probably will be wrapping up soon because sounds like my mother-in-law just showed up. So I might need to go and say hello. Let me see a little bit. Couple more of your questions. We got 212. Let's do one more to say do svidania, don't spidania. And thank you so much for joining. Wow, that telling you, I may be a little bit drunk, but not even close. I'll be all over the place if I'll be. Yeah, there's not much going on. I smell alcohol, but not that much. All right. For you guys, thank you so much. Without you, I won't have this channel without your support and questions. And I, you helped me to get it going. And thank you. Спасибо. Дякую. Somebody will tell me I'll be doing YouTube live eating mushrooms, drinking vodka. Insane. Is the vodka still good? I mean, it's good. It doesn't taste bad, but it's really quite mild. Not strong at all. Okay. Going through. There's a comment about publicity during live show, Bill 1. I'm not sure what is that about. Don't worry about the vodka potency. It's a thought, it's an idea. Great job. Thank you. Well, as I said, I still remember when we were buying this bottle. I don't have a perfect memory, but there's quite a few things from way back I remember. And I remember my dad buying it, and we walk back home, and I just look at that bottle. It's so cool, and it just for some reason like, Dad, can we please not drink it? So yeah. And my dad, bless his heart, my late father, he didn't touch it. He loved drinking it, but when his son asked him not to touch it, he didn't touch it. He just 10 rubles. When you make 150 rubles a month, paying 10 rubles per bottle, think about it. So it's whatever you make a month and do proportions, that's expensive vodka. It's probably, if you make $1,500, it's $100 bottle. If you make 3,000, it's $200 a bottle. It's expensive vodka to think about it. But anyway, all right. Well, we are hanging out for 1 hour 36 minutes, so I really appreciate you guys joining. Let's see, one more question. Can you get salo in the United States? So if you don't know what salo is, it's a pork lard, but it's like a solid chunk of fat with the skin on the bottom. The best if it's like frozen. I had people sending me, but usually it's not that good. I'm not sure why. I had one lady nicknamed Siestra. She used to live in Colorado, and she had a Ukrainian grocery store there. She shipped me some frozen salo, and I enjoyed it. But it's a lot of my taste bud changed. A lot of items I used to like in Ukraine, I don't like anymore. When my mother came to visit a long time ago, 2006, she brought some cod liver in a canned cod liver, and I used to love that stuff. And I started eating it, and I was almost like ready to puke. It was just disgusting, too fishy. So over this 7 years, I completely lost interest in that, and it was bizarre. Same with the smoked sprouts. I used to love them. Then I bought some because you could buy them in Meyer now from Latvia, and I'm eating them, and I was like, I'm not enjoying it. Like I'm eating it, and I'm not enjoying it at all. Like, so it's so bizarre. My mind, my eyes tell me like I love it, and then I put it, and I was like, I hate this. It's really weird how my taste buds change over the years. It's really bizarre. So yeah, pickled herring, I don't think I love anymore. I still like the kilka в томатном соусе, so like a sprouts and tomato sauce. I still love that. But a lot of items is just I get Americanized in that way. It's really strange. I can't believe it. So you still like vodka? Well, it's not like I like vodka. I like what it does to me if you drink moderately. It's just kind of I get relaxed as I used to be. Go like woohoo. Now I just like let's go take a nap. So have you seen the movie Clerks? No, I didn't. Unfortunately. Ba, ba, ba. Well, now I feel like it's coming. Oh my, there was a little delay, but let's see what else. What Soviet rock bands where are your favorites? Um, Actually, I'll hold on just a second. I'll be right back. We're back. Thank you for sticking around. Okay. Aria, Герой Асфальта. Aria, the hero of Asphalt, the blacktop hero. Holy crap. Back in the day, Melodia. By the way, for all you youngsters, this is called long play, plastinka. There was one of the best. Okay, it sounds like Iron Maiden, but what awesome about this band, and now I shouldn't like them because the main people they support war in Ukraine, but we're talking about 80s, right? This one was produced 1987, recorded in 1987. What's amazing about this album, like I said, it sounds like Iron Maiden. It's really good rock music. They had a actual poet, lady poet, wrote the lyrics. So the lyrics is freaking awesome, just kick ass, just awesome. Like it's not people try to just make something together that rhymes, and die, all that. No, it's like good. So Aria Герой Асфальта, you can find that on YouTube. I think they have it. I have it in LP. That's I brought from Ukraine, bought it for 2 rubles 50 kopecks back in 1988. Oh my goodness, that's a good stuff right there. And another one, Черный кофе, переступи порог, black coffee. Not as good as Aria, but it's. I have an LP player, believe it or not. Look at that Soviet compact disc, and Melodia. This is the only company that made LPs in Soviet Union. Melodia, the melody. So yeah, this is black coffee. Look at those letters, all that rock style letters, right? I would say it's not as good as Aria, but I like them a lot too. I went to their concert. It's the only rock concert I ever went was Black Coffee in Kiev. I'm not sure what year. 3 rubles, 1988. So yeah, that was good stuff right there. And it's, people like Perestroika, best years ever. When suddenly all these bands, all this music, it became so fun to be in Soviet Union, and then of course there was no Soviet Union. So yeah, I brought those LPs from Ukraine. I had them since 80s, late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, if you, it's available. But Aria, like yeah, it was awesome. But okay, what's really cool about this album is the very, I think it's the very first song. It starts with the classical music. Domingo, this young kid, Italian kid, oh dolce Napoli, do 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 do, oh Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. So we always like to mess with our parents when they come in. Like, what do you guys listen to? Like, well, listen to this. And we start playing this LP. In the beginning, it just sounds like classical, just opera singing, because that kid, the Domingo, Santa Lucia, and they're like, wow, and then it starts. Oh, that was freaking kick ass. But yeah, boy, thank you for asking the question. It brought me a good smile. So yeah, one of the things I was lucky. I helped a lot around here in Southwest Michigan in moving. And when you move people, quite often they get rid of shit. They just don't want stuff because apartment too small or house not big enough or we don't want it anymore. So over the years, hey, Sista is back. That's the lady that sent me Salo. Hello, Sista. Thank you for joining. So I got Technics LP player for free. People are like, you want this? I was like, Hell yeah. I got Technics SA404 Alpha receiver. I got that for free. I got speakers, Akai speakers before I was Technics. My kids destroyed it. So I got a bunch of that cool stuff that now people like paying really big bucks because suddenly cassettes are cool, LPs are cool. I got LP player. I got also the whole Fisher unit. It's not top of the line, but I bought it for $25. Cassette player, tuner, and receiver, amplifier. I have a Harman Kardon, but it's a 90s black one cassette player. So I'm good. I just need to set it up. So yeah, I'm suddenly all that stuff is cool again. Film cameras are cool again. I got those. Some of my subscribers send me this Yashica. So awesome. Anyway, um, yep. So anyway, so it's kind of everything goes in circles. So I'm cool again with all my electronics. Question: how's your kids are doing right now? Doing okay, considering my youngest one, Oliver. He's gonna be 18 in May, Cinco de Mayo. He's gonna be turning 18, so he's finishing high school. My daughter finished college, looking for a job right now. So she's 2000, so she easy to remember her age. She'll be 23 um, in October. Actually, speaking of my daughter. I begged a doctor because she was born almost on October 20th. So there'll be 10, 20, 2000. And that bastard refused to write the date, just, instead of 19th, to write 20th. I'm like, dude, please. There's no crime. Just write, just write, you know, 10, 20, 2000. Nope. In America, they refuse to do it. Back home, I'll just give him a bottle of vodka. And like, dude, he like, I'll put any date you want. So that's kind of thing about the United States. Oh, all right. Last question. I'm all drunken, Steve. No, it's dangerous. Um, yeah, it's that's why they don't let you drive under influence. They shouldn't let you do lives under influence. A bad idea. Because now I'm losing up. It's going out of control. Okay, so last question. Sergey, do you think of Yakov Smirnov? We never heard of him. I learned him because some people comment about it. I found his comedy. I mean, yeah, there was some interesting. I'm surprised that he actually made it. And I didn't know this whole reference in Soviet Russia, something go backwards. It was him. I was using it, but I never knew it was him. So he was not known in Soviet Union, but I'm happy that he is made it here. Question: what is your profession? I'm a professional bullshitter. Just kidding. I got degree of electrical engineering back from Ukraine, Kiev Polytechnical Institute, and after a while, and I managed to get a job as a plant operator. So I work at the local power plant. I make electricity, so that's my job. So yeah. Anyways, what about Pussy Riot? I don't mind Pussy. I don't like riots. Do you listen to Shaman? Obviously not. He is a Nazi singer, right? The Russian Nazi. Yeah, he got that song of the Shaman. I'm Russian against everyone else. Like Nazlon всем, like who gives a flying F that you're Russian? Big deal. So like, okay, about nationalities. I sometimes get people, Ukrainians, upset because my statement, I'm not proud, like because I'm Ukrainian. And they're like, "What?" I was like, didn't have a choice. No one fills up the paperwork before they're born. I was like, hey, you got 10 minutes before you pop out. You better fill the paperwork. Where do you want to be born? And what will be your nationality? Do you have a choice? I had no choice. I was born in Kiev. My parents were Ukrainians. So I'm Ukrainian. Okay. You can be proud of your achievements. You can be proud, like, if you did something. You were born in Ukraine, Ukrainian. Okay. I don't see like somebody like I'm proud being Jew. Did you have a choice? Well, I'm proud to be an American. What did you do to become an American? Nothing. If you just Chris Rock had this speech a long time ago. If you come out of, I don't want to use the words, slid out of your mother in Detroit, you have no right to scream, I'm an American. So that's kind of my attitude about that. Like, I don't, it's what I achieve. I'm proud that one day back several years ago, I rode the bicycle all the way across from Michigan, from one end, west coast to east coast, Odram, in one day. I'm proud of that. I did that. I'm proud I learned English decent. But nationality, like, you have a choice. It just happened that way, you know. So that's my attitude. Some people don't like it, but it is what it is. Um, there's people asking questions. I'm not really in music in the, especially modern day music in Russia, Ukraine. I don't listen much of it, so you can ask me. I don't know much about that. So I thought Sergey used to be a supermodel. Well, thank you, but no, no, no. I mean, there's no supermodel look to in that look. I never learned how to smile American way, so you can't be a supermodel. Just having a beautiful ripped body and a perfect blonde hair doesn't make you a supermodel. You need to learn how to smile in America, otherwise you're not gonna make it. Although, um, okay, another story, and we're gonna wrap it up. So when I was in Los Angeles, California, back in 1997, maybe 98, 97. That time, I was ripped, worked all summer as a lifeguard, and I had a tank top and right into the beach. And right on the bus, I had a guy approach me, sat next to me on the bus. Very first alert. And he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And like, "Are you a model?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Hey, dude, I know I'm a photographer and I'm looking for new models, and there's my portfolio." He takes out of the album out of his bag, so he's ready to go. And he started flipping. It's Los Angeles, Started flipping through pages, and he got dudes there posing, different poses. He's like, "I think you could be, you can be a good fashion model. So if you want, there's my business card. Give me a call. You can come to my studio. You know, and we can do some pictures, do your portfolio. They can send around, and you're gonna be a supermodel." Hair color was natural, actually. Changed when I'm on outside in the sun. This is gonna turn bleach blonde. This is not colored. This is au naturel. It's just from, you see my eyebrows? They're freaking as white as my hair. It's just the sun does it to me. So yeah, I came back. I stayed with my cousin. I was like, "Dude, I had this happen. What do you think?" And he's like, "Well, sure, you can go model. Just stop by and get some lubricant, and then you can pose for this guy. This Los Angeles is full of these people that will help you with modeling." And that's kind of like, "Oh, okay, all right." That's the last one, guys, and na dorožku. So yeah, that's how my modeling career started and ended by that dude. I never called him back. But when I went back to Ukraine, I felt safe. So I actually asked my friend to take some pictures of me, and I mailed him like, "Hey, sorry, I got busy. Um, I I don't want to waste my money on KY and go model for you. But there's my picture. So you think if it's a midname and if you find somebody who wants to, magazine." But I never heard back from him. But yeah, it was a, I had a video about it. There's a two times I was approached by gay people, and as one time was in Ukraine and one time was in LA. Well, he didn't say he was one, but there's a chance, the possibility that he was not interested in my modeling, but other things. So yeah, did he kiss you? No, he didn't. But yeah, that was anyway. So yeah, drinking is bad for your health. So as I said, if you read my 95 and 96, 97, and that will be my California story. It's the first time ever I went to California, stayed with my cousin. It was pretty cool. That was a good experience. So anyway, well, one time, thank you so much for joining. We're almost 2 hours, 219 likes. I'm supposed to say this is one thing. There's another thing I cannot do, and my wife hates it. I don't like to say I love you. It's just for me, it's a really personal. It's only in specific moments. I think in America, it's really got like used too much. Like the people say it all the time, but I had enough of this, so I'll say that. I love you guys. How about that? And thank you so much for helping me to get to this level, 100K. Won't do it without you. So thank you so much once again. There'll be more videos to come, and we'll talk.